Wait. Here. There's money inside here.
Wait. Here. One day I'll be able to pay you back. You can count on it.
Juliana, let's go. It's raining a lot out there.
Fernando, my child, my dear son, from now on, you're going to have a much better and more beautiful life.
Don't talk like that, Grandma. I got some money, look. A girl on the street gave it to me. Grandma? Grandma? No, Grandma. Please don't go, don't go. Please don't do this to me. I'm begging you, stay here. Because now we finally have all the money we need. I promise, I promise. Oh, now we are going to eat properly every single day. Grandma, please, I'm begging you, don't leave me. Grandma, please stay right here by my side. I won't be able to be all alone in this house, Grandma. Please, I really need you to stay right here with me.
Fernando, you have been named the new heir to the Ribeiro Group. Stop crying. You'll have a new life now, far away from all this poverty.
Fernando Ribeiro, president of the Ribeiro Group, the largest technology and investment conglomerate in the country. Net worth estimated at 100 million. At 30 years old, he's one of the most influential young men in Brazil.
We've already discovered many clues. Mr. Fernando, let's go.
Hi.
I've already discovered a lot about those investigations you asked me to do.
Where?
This way. Come.
The group's president has just arrived to conduct an inspection. I don't want anyone leaving their post. No one should make any sudden moves, and no one draws any unnecessary attention. Are we clear?
I'll want the best suite, whichever one you have available. Wow, the outdated decor of this hotel. Let's go somewhere else.
I don't want to. This hotel is great, Yuri. Plus, they've got wonderful wine here, so sort it out because we're not leaving, okay? Just going to the restroom, be right back.
Don't say anything, Juliana. She's my client.
Client? Are you going to a room with a client now, Yuri?
Keep your voice down, Juliana.
Who is she?
Just keep your voice down.
Is my lipstick smudged, honey? Is something going on here?
This woman is pestering me, offering me special packages. I had to refuse several times.
He's my boyfriend. This cynic is cheating on me with you, you liar.
How would I be interested in a cripple like that?
Are you out of your mind slapping me in the face?
Apologize to the gentleman and the lady right now.
Apologize for what? For getting slapped in the face?
You started it. You were offering special services to our client, and that is not the hotel's standard of service.
You know that's a lie.
1,000 Rees. Tell her to get on her knees right now and apologize.
On your knees now.
What kind of madness is this?
Look at the state you're in. You look like a beggar. Stop this right now.
Hello, good day, Catano. Yes, I need you to do something for me. I want you to fire the hotel supervisor right now, and also let the receptionist go, the redhead. She doesn't meet our group's appearance standards. Okay, thank you.
Aitano,
Yes, sir.
the staff member working at the reception during the incident.
Yes.
I want to know everything about her.
Consider it done, sir. I'll find out everything.
I'm going tomorrow, Mom. I'm going.
Mr. Bernardo, take a look. I've gathered all the information about the employee. Look, her name is Juliana Carvalho. She's 27 years old. She's been a receptionist at that hotel for 3 years. Before that, she had 2 other jobs, as written there on the file. She lives alone in an apartment in Brass. Now, the most striking part of this story, her mother's been in a coma for 20 years in a very expensive private hospital. The father doesn't pay a thing. His name is here too, look, Roberto Carvalho. She's the one who covers everything with her salary and side jobs.
Carvalho?
Yes, that's what's written there.
So her last name is Carvalho.
It's Carvalho, as it's written here on the file.
Do this then. Schedule a meeting with Dr. Antunes for today.
Wait, the family's lawyer?
Exactly. I need to discuss a few things with him.
Fernando, you need to understand that the Ribeiro Group was founded by 2 families. Enrique Ribeiro, your adoptive father, and Augusto Carvalho, his partner. The 2 of them built everything from scratch for 30 years. When your father died, he left a will with a specific clause with a condition so that you inherit total control of the group upon turning 30 years old.
I am aware of that clause and of the agreement between the 2 families as well.
Exactly. Right. Your father wanted the alliance between the 2 founding families to continue, and that was the way he found to ensure that.
And Augusto? Does he have an heir?
Yes. A daughter. Vera Carvalho. She was married to a man named Roberto, and together they had a daughter, but she suffered a serious car accident 20 years ago. Vera survived, but she has remained in a coma since then. She has been hospitalized in a private clinic for 20 years. Juliana is the one who pays the hospital bills, all by herself. Juliana is the only legitimate descendant of Augusto Carvalho still alive. She is the only one who satisfies that clause. Without this marriage, Fernando, the entire control of the group passes to the board of directors on the very day of your 30th birthday. You will lose the majority vote.
How much time is left?
3 months.
And Roberto, Juliana's father, what does he gain from this contract?
Roberto has nothing to do with it. He never belonged to the founding family. The clause is very specific. It speaks about the blood of Augusto Carvalho and not about who marries his daughter.
Right. And does he know about this already?
Yes, he was notified about 2 weeks ago. He just asked for a little time to convince his daughter to accept.
Ah, so he's using his daughter as a bargaining chip?
Look, sir, I'm really not in a position to make a comment on that matter.
I'm not asking for your comment, no. That was just me thinking out loud.
Fernando Ribeiro? The same one who fired me yesterday for my looks? Mom, I am doing perfectly fine. There is absolutely no need for you to worry about me. So, what are you guys doing here?
Is that any way to talk to your own father?
You called me 4 times yesterday, I didn't answer, and I woke up with a lawyer's letter at my door. No need to pretend this is a visit. What do you want?
Juliana, do you realize what an incredible opportunity this is? The Ribeiro family has 100 million in assets.
I'm not getting married.
Do you realize the great opportunity you're throwing away?
I certainly do, and I'm not doing it. Do you know how much it costs to keep this hospital running every month? This bed, this doctor, this machine that keeps her breathing? I do. I pay for everything myself. For years. Yeah, you pay as long as you have a job. But you were fired yesterday, weren't you? If you refuse to go through with this marriage, Dad will file a lawsuit to freeze and block the account you used to pay for this hospital. It will take at least 3 months for an injunction to come through. That means 3 months without any form of payment for your care. And then they'll transfer her to a public ICU. And well, you surely know what a public ICU is.
Fine, I'll marry him. But on one condition.
What condition, Juliana?
The necklace. The one at your house that you took the day my mother went into a coma.
That's just an old trinket. I can buy you something much better than that.
I don't want anything new. I want that. What I asked for.
Okay, fine. When you go to my apartment, you can take it. Help yourself?
Now I'm leaving this place. Mom, I honestly have no idea why you kept this old thing with such care. But I'm going to find out the truth.
There, the Carvalho family confirmed. She accepted. Do you really want to go through with this?
It's what the will says.
But tell me, don't you at least want to get a chance to meet her first?
I already know her, Caetano.
Here. One day I'll be able to pay you back.
$3 months. I only need 3 months. Mom stays in the hospital, the bill stays paid, and at the end of all this, I still walk away on my own 2 feet.
So it's you.
And for what it's worth, I know exactly who you are as well.
I know who you are too.
You defended me at the hotel and then fired me minutes later because I didn't have the right look. I also know what that was about.
That I know too.
So I want you to know that none of this was my choice, right?
Believe me, I really did not choose for any of this to happen either.
3 months. That is exactly what the lawyer for Antunes has stated that the inheritance requires. You take the group, I stay with my mom in the hospital, and then it will all be over. There should be no fighting, no arguing, and none of that kind of stuff here.
So you read the will.
The formal letter that Antunes sent was remarkably clear, incredibly direct, and very, very transparent in every single detail it contained.
So 3 months then.
Well, without him here, it's even better. It's easier this way.
What nerve the Carvalho family has to send a cripple here. You know the will requires the marriage, but it says nothing about how this woman should be treated inside this house. Is that understood?
Understood.
Well, this family isn't in the habit of supporting lazy, idle people. So I made sure to give every one of my maids the day off. The one who will clean the house and make lunch today is going to be you. I want everything served at noon. Don't be late.
Did you think you'd just show up and be a lady? There's surely no way you thought you'd just arrive and sit around doing absolutely nothing whatsoever, right? The best part was Mr. Fernando. He didn't even waste his time on you. Married yesterday and early this morning, he was already gone. He must have gone straight to Raquel.
Ow!
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
And I don't find it funny.
You have the nerve to talk to me like that? Your husband didn't even stay with you for a single night.
What happened here? What happened to her hand?
It was an accident. My foot slipped and...
Caetano, please go ahead and arrange for her dismissal with all of her benefits. But I don't want to see Ana here tomorrow.
But Mr. Fernando, I've worked here for 7 years.
7 years doesn't justify what you did here. Please, Caetano, escort her out.
Fernando, Ana has worked here for years. Are you going to fire her because of this?
They stepped on my wife's hand, on purpose. This is not up for debate. It's bruised.
It'll pass.
You really did not have to do that, at all.
I guess someone had to do it, right?
Thanks for not saying anything before I arrived. I appreciate it.
I didn't do it for you.
Excuse me, Mr. Fernando, if you have a moment. There's one more document for you to sign. Once again, huh? 3 days, Mr. Fernando. 3 days that you've been signing documents without reading.
Caetano, if you bring me the document, I trust it.
But that's not what worries me, Mr. Fernando.
Huh? What worries you then?
What worries me is that you're not here. Well, you're here physically, right? Well, you're here physically, but it's been 3 days signing documents without reading.
So tell me, are you carefully scrutinizing your boss now?
I am not analyzing you, Mr. Fernando. I am simply observing my boss. It's just a necessary part of my job.
All right, Caetano. Let's go over tomorrow's schedule, please.
Let me access it here. Just so you know, the meeting with the lawyers was rescheduled for tomorrow. The one with legal is at 9. The other lawyer's one was cancelled, thank goodness. But
what?
Juliana ran into me on the stairs and she asked where the library was. I already sent her to the 2nd floor. I thought you'd like to know that.
Why on earth would I want to know where Juliana is going to be? It really is all the same to me.
Why would you like it? That's a great question, Mr. Fernando. Good night. Hello?
Wait, is that Caetano?
Hi, Juliana.
Good morning, how are you? Are you very busy?
No, really, it's fine. Go ahead.
I've been wanting to have a quick word with you. It isn't really even a talk, it's more of a question.
A question? Sure, ask away.
How long have you worked with Fernando?
8 years.
Wait, 8 years? And has he always been like this?
It's like, what exactly could you tell me?
Moderate, I can't explain it. It seems like
He's always thinking if the word he's about to say has been approved.
it's always a mystery. You think you're understanding him, then you don't. And then he makes you understand again, and then he makes you misunderstand.
Look, Juliana, I can honestly tell you that what you're seeing from Fernando right now is just a whole lot of extra noise compared to how he actually used to be in the past. He was much quieter.
Oh my God, he doesn't even talk to me. He doesn't really converse with me.
He says the minimum.
But at the same time, it feels as if there were clear signs.
Yeah, I know it's really hard to understand. But what I can tell you is this. Mr. Fernando was much quieter. Today I can tell you that I even find him extroverted.
All right. Thank you so much, Caetano.
You're welcome, Juliana. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Juliana? Juliana?
It was just a dizzy spell. I'm fine.
You're not fine. Can't you see that?
I can walk. Let me go.
No, you can't. Katana, would you please get the car ready? We're going to the hospital now. Juliana? Juliana, we're here.
Why are you doing this, Fernando?
Juliana, you are my wife. This is the least I can do.
I'm your fake wife. This whole act ends in 3 months.
For now. How is she, doctor?
Well, the patient has had a fever for at least 2 days. In addition, she presented a case of moderate malnutrition. She had been going for quite some time without eating properly. Her body eventually gave in, but with hydration and proper rest, she tends to improve quickly. But she requires care. And one more thing, I took the opportunity to perform an exam on her left leg. And I noticed that it's a surgical case, but with the correct treatment, she tends to recover her mobility.
Schedule it then with the specialist.
That won't be necessary.
Juliana.
No need, I already said. Thank you very much, doctor. And I will be fine. You can go now.
I know.
That two-faced woman. She must be faking it as always just to get attention. Plus, on top of that, cheating on her husband with this guy.
I'm curious, why did you do that? Why did you end up spending the whole entire night here?
So how are you feeling?
Better. You could have just gone home.
I know I could have, but if you needed me, I had to be here.
Sister, I came to see you. I was worried when I heard you weren't feeling well.
Oh, Fernando?
Fernando.
Clara, I swear I didn't know it was him. It was dark.
You sent me this specific photo, claiming that Juliana was secretly meeting another man at the hospital on only her second day of marriage.
It's just that I thought...
You wanted to tarnish this family's name.
Clara!
Your mother sent you to do her dirty work? You must inform her that in the Ribeiro family there is absolutely no room for behavior of this nature. And as for you, you are to return to this house only when you have been specifically summoned. Rest, Juliana. Fernando, I need to talk to you. Can we have a quick word?
Juliana, I spoke with the specialist. He can come see you this week still?
I already said I don't need to.
But you're refusing without even hearing him out.
Fernando, I already know what he's going to say. I've heard it many times before.
Juliana, I just want to help you.
Fernando, I've actually had this condition for more than 20 years now. I already had 2 surgeries when I was a child, one before 10 and one at 15. Both helped, but neither solved it. My mother paid for it when she could before she went to the ICU. And after that, I decided to stop everything. I had absolutely no money left, and it simply made no sense to keep doing procedure after procedure without knowing if it would ever work. I have been living like this for 20 years now, and I think I have finally gotten used to it. I don't want anyone telling me that I can get better. I know I can get better, but I think I've come a long way, you know? I'll keep going. I'll keep getting there, and I don't want to.
But before you didn't have the money.
It's not about money. I just don't want to revisit the same place, the same pain, waking up without knowing when I'll be better. I don't want to. He wants to help. but he has to understand that not everything is the way he wants.
And welcome back once again. Thank you, Clara.
Clara, we're going to hire new people for the house. For now, we'll work with what we have. Juliana doesn't do any housework.
Fernando, this house has a routine that...
Routines change. But Juliana just got out of the hospital. As you can see, she's in no condition to do heavy work here. For God's sake, Clara.
This farce of a marriage will only last for 3 months. I really have to keep that in my mind. Soon this crazy woman will be out of here.
For now, it's what we have.
Why on earth does he keep doing this?
All set, sir. Look, the documents for tomorrow's meeting are all ready now. And that meeting with the shareholders you asked for, I've set it for Thursday, okay? Sir?
Caetano, back when I was 7 years old, before I joined the Ribeiro family, do you happen to know anything at all about that time?
Not much. You don't usually talk about it, do you?
There was one night, it was raining, I was begging for money on the street. My grandmother was sick. I met a young girl. A little girl gave me a small, thoughtful gift. A piggy bank. In my pocket, I only had a simple, colorful bead necklace that I gave to her as a gift in return.
Wait. Here. One day I'll be able to pay you back. Count on it.
I never saw that necklace again. And I never found out who that girl was either. I want you to investigate everything. Investigate the date, the neighborhood, the time, the girl. I want to know everything about that day. And the necklace too, Juliana's? Find out where it came from.
Juliana's? So you think she is the one? She is definitely the girl.
I need to know something urgently. I simply can't get it out of my head.
Oh, then leave it to me, leave it to me. I'll investigate everything.
Juliana, I'm so glad you showed up. I want to introduce you to my friends Flavia and her niece Amanda. Come sit here with us.
Oh, so Juliana, you're Fernando's wife? Clara actually mentioned to me that you worked at the hotel and met there. What quite an interesting story.
And at which place and what exactly did you study, dear?
Medicine. I had to drop out, but I studied medicine.
A public university?
To be honest, I was at one of the most prestigious colleges in Sao Paulo on a full scholarship. I was the top student for the first 2 years.
Wow. With all that difficulty, were you still able to attend classes regularly?
I took the bus, sat in the front row. I was the best student in the college. Actually, when it comes to my specific medical condition, it does not really affect the cognitive thinking part, right? I honestly think that, in fact, it must affect people like you a lot more.
So much determination, right?
Yeah, it's great here, right? Not to say otherwise, so I'll be going, okay? Enjoy your coffee, okay? Excuse me.
Sir, look, about the investigation you requested, I found everything right here. Here is the record of the accident. Just look at the date. 20 years ago, Cambuchi neighborhood, July 17th. Vera Carvalho and her daughter Juliana, 7 years old, hit by a vehicle on the sidewalk. Vera went into a coma. Juliana was hospitalized with a fracture in her left tibia and bruises. It matches both the neighborhood and the date that you described.
And the necklace?
About the necklace, another important detail. I have Juliana's medical record right here. This is her admission record, Juliana's record. And on the list, there is a heart necklace. It had a heart pendant, meaning you already had the necklace when you were admitted. Would you like for me to continue with the investigation?
Continue, Caetano. I need to know everything that happened that day.
Okay.
It was just you all along.
And do you need anything else, sir?
Tell me, Caetano, when you carefully checked through her personal dossier, did you confirm the date of birth?
Of course. October 19th?
And the one from the accident?
July 17th.
So tell me, and you didn't feel any meaningful connection between the two dates?
I confess to you that when I put the dossier together, no, I didn't find any connection. But right after that, I did make the connection.
If you confirmed it, then why didn't you tell me anything at all?
Because, Mr. Fernando, you need to learn that in life, there are things that people need to discover on their own too. Now look at it this way. If I had informed you and given you all this information the very moment I first found out, it would probably have just been one more piece of information for you, right? But the way it is happening right now, it is not just mere information anymore. It has become a profound moment of true recognition. And these two things, they carry a very different weight and importance in the end.
You can go, Caetano.
Sure.
Just one more thing. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
You never come here.
And how do you know that?
Because I come here every day and I've never seen you.
If this was my grandmother's place, she used to come here.
What did she do here?
She would come, drink her cup of tea, and look at the beautiful garden.
You have not been back here, especially after she left?
Actually, no.
Why did you come today?
She would often tell me that the things that truly matter, we cannot find the words to explain. And when we try to explain, if we do not understand, we will end up completely ruining it.
She was wise.
I don't know if wise is the word. I think more stubborn. But she knew some things. But I think they're different things.
I think you should start coming here again. For her. It's not my place. It actually belonged to her.
I don't feel like it's my place either.
Mom, I'm telling you this because I have absolutely no one else to talk to at all. I'm married. His name is Fernando Ribeiro. He's the president of the Ribeiro Group. You have most likely heard of him. Just about everyone has already heard of him. It really wasn't much of a choice. You already know how it is when my father and Sonia set their minds on something together. But something is strange. He doesn't act like I thought he would. He protected me on the first day and fired me the next. You know, he does these things. He does something that hurts me and then something that makes no sense. I was fast asleep in the hospital and he stayed there throughout the entire night. He sat in the uncomfortable chair with his suit all wrinkled and I don't know what I'm going to do with him. It is a lot easier when he treats me coldly. I know where I stand. But when he treats me in this way, I honestly don't know. Don't know.
Sir, excuse me.
Just a second.
Look, there's a man at reception named Yuri Braga. He requested a meeting with the new partners department. He even mentioned a close personal relationship with Mrs. Juliana Ribeiro, and further suggested that this could help to facilitate a meeting with you.
He used her name?
He used her name.
Take me there right now, then.
Fernando, how are you? It took you long enough.
To start with, we are not on a first-name basis. Address me as Mr. Fernando.
Of course, sir. I'm here to present a business proposal to you.
Why did you mention my wife's name?
Well, I just mentioned that Juliana and I have a long-standing relationship.
You used to. But you betrayed her. You slapped her right in the face. If I had only arrived 2 minutes earlier, I would have stopped it. So you have absolutely nothing to do with my wife anymore. Her name gives you access to nothing at all. It gives you no access to my company. And if you ever mention her name again, I will sue you for the misuse of her image.
You don't know Juliana. She's not the person you think she is.
You may leave.
"20 years with this piggy bank, not knowing why I couldn't throw it away. I still don't quite understand the reason why that night has never once truly left my mind. And she was here throughout this entire time. She has been right here all along. You said you'd pay me back the money someday, but I'm the one who's actually stuck in debt here. I'm the one who vanished, the one who didn't see. It took me 20 years to understand what was right in front of me.
Fernando, what time is it?
It's late. I'm so sorry. I woke you up.
Is everything okay?
Yes, it is.
What just was that?
Juliana, I need to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
I've booked an appointment with a specialist in neuromotor orthopedics. He's the best in the country. I've set it for Friday.
We've already talked about this, Fernando.
I know, Juliana, but this time you wouldn't even listen to the doctor. He's a specialist. He can treat you. I've researched all of this.
Fernando?
Juliana, you've spent 20 years suffering with this. Back then you didn't have the money, but now you do. Can't you just give it a chance and go there?
And what if he says that I'm able to have the surgery? Are you going to force me?
Juliana, the decision is yours. I just want you to go there and listen. And I'm going to try to get you to have the surgery. Caetano, I am worried about something. Juliana, ever since she arrived here, she hasn't been able to access her medical school at all.
Yes, that is indeed correct, sir.
I want you to do something. Get in touch with the college, get everything, library access, and full credentials. If you can also make an institutional donation, do it.
But did she ask for that?
She didn't ask for it. I want to resolve it. She doesn't deserve to be without her studies. She really needs to be doing something about all of this.
Look, Juliana, I have your history here on the computer from the 2 previous surgeries you had. And the problem wasn't with the technique itself, but with the protocol they used. But over these 15 years, there have been many advances. Today's techniques are completely different, and our approach to your specific case. Look, I'm very optimistic about what I'm seeing here.
But what does that mean in actual practice?
In practice, it means we have a good window for intervention. So, by combining this new technique, which is a decompression with a graft, the possibility of you walking again, or at least having an 80% improvement in your mobility, is very high.
What is the full recovery time?
The surgery itself, it's not actually quite as long as you might expect, usually around 4 hours. So, combining that with the intensive physical therapy rehabilitation sessions you'll have to do afterwards, it is my professional opinion, and I firmly believe that, look, in about 4 or 5 weeks, you'll already see a significant improvement.
Yeah, okay. And what are the risks?
Well, any surgical procedure has risks. It won't be any different for you. But it's like I told you, things have changed a lot over the years. 15 years have passed since your first procedure, so I'm sure that as for getting worse, you won't get worse. I'm very optimistic about your case. I think you're going to be just fine.
And if I decide to go through, the operation, and I don't quite reach 60%, will you look at me any differently than you do now?
Don't think about that, Juliana. Of course not.
So, Juliana, are you ready for your new life?
I am.
Don't worry, everything will be fine.
Did everything go according to plan?
The doctor said everything went well. It was even better than he expected.
How long have you been here?
That is about 4 hours and 20 minutes or so.
You really should have been at work by this time today.
I know I should have, but I preferred to stay.
Thank you.
Hello, Mrs. Juliana.
Hi, Caetano.
Good afternoon. Look, I know, ma'am, that this isn't the time, but an update from the university system has arrived for you. You have an active credential, unlimited access to the digital library, and also to the research systems. And all of that is right there on your device.
Who did this?
Ma'am, it is simply a system update.
Caetano, tell me, who did all this?
Ms. Juliana, the connection is bad. I'll have to hang up. Have a good afternoon, okay?
This is so like Fernando. But why does he keep doing this?
Two more, now go. That's it.
I felt the difference.
That's exactly what you should feel. The signal is reaching now where it didn't before. Good. Just a little bit more. Now I'm going to ask you to take 8 steps, but without support.
8 steps?
Right. You can do it? Good.
Oh my God, I really don't believe it.
Juliana, your life is going to change completely now.
Thank you, doctor. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Juliana, I'm really so glad I found you because I really needed to talk to you.
I have nothing to say to you.
My daughter, your situation has changed a lot, hasn't it? Now that you're married to Fernando Ribeiro and living in that mansion, it's certainly quite a change from that apartment in Braz, right? You must be very happy.
Get straight to the point, Roberto. I don't have time to waste with you.
My daughter, we are all your family. At this moment, we could really use some extra support, a loan, or some financial assistance.
No.
You're not understanding what I'm trying to say. Look, I have debts to pay by the end of the month. And if I don't pay these debts, the situation will get very complicated for me. And if the situation gets complicated for me, it gets complicated for everyone, including those who depend on me to stay in this hospital.
Threatening to pull my mom from the hospital?
Look, I'm just explaining to you how things work. You have 1 week
That's not going to happen. I won't let that happen.
Fernando, she's been here for a month now.
You're good at counting, aren't you, Clara?
You're getting attached to her, and that's not good.
You're also watching me very closely.
I'm doing this because someone has to. You made her breakfast, you went to get the tablet, and you even picked her up from the hospital without her even asking. Fernando, the agreement is for 3 months. 2 months, and then she's gone. Don't complicate something that has an end date.
Thanks for the concern. But let's be honest, shall we? I didn't ask for any of your advice.
Two months. 60 days. Once that is all finished, I'll gather up all of my things. My mother is safe in the hospital, and then I'll leave. That was the plan. It still is the plan. So why is it that at this very moment, when I think about it, I wish it wouldn't happen? Fernando, I would like to talk to you about the deadline of the agreement.
Not today, Juliana.
Mr. Fernando.
Maybe tomorrow, please.
Fernando.
Good night, Juliana.
Couldn't you sleep?
No, not really. When it rains hard like this, I start to have certain memories that I really don't like very much at all.
Have you ever noticed that the rain in Sao Paulo echoes differently?
Different how?
It seems like in the afternoon it's in a hurry. And in the early hours of the morning it can truly be itself.
And when it rained hard like this, back when you were much younger, were you able to sleep through it?
When I was a child, I loved the rain. And then I had an unfortunate accident, and I started to have an extremely light and restless sleep, and even the slightest noise would scare me. But time passed, and I started to like it again. I started to realize that it didn't make sense to be afraid of it. When I was seriously injured, it was raining heavily outside. And when my mother hurriedly made her way to the hospital, it was still raining. It seems like all the big events of my life had rain. It's almost poetic. It honestly seemed like it, I don't know, was following me. And it certainly seems like you do too, but I don't quite know that yet. Do you want to know what really helps to soothe and relax me when I have insomnia? For some reason, this necklace calms me. And it honestly really calms me down. Good night, Fernando.
Did I ask for coffee?
No.
Then why did you bring it?
Since you're going to be up all night anyway, you might as well spend it drinking coffee.
Ketano, I know you. You came here to ask me something.
Yeah, I came to ask something, but I changed my mind. I'm not asking anymore.
But why exactly is that?
Because no matter what kind of answer you decided to give me, it simply wouldn't be the truth anyway at all. So it would just be a very awkward situation for both of us. But I can do something better.
So what is that, Caetano?
I can give you some professional advice as your assistant, which is what I am here to do.
Here we go. And what would your professional advice be?
So here it is. Please make a reservation for tomorrow. Find a Brazilian restaurant that isn't too far from here, and preferably for dinner.
Since when is that professional advice?
Yeah, it's not really professional advice, but it's all I had.
All right, Caetano, go ahead and make that reservation for us, please.
Right away. Then you just sign right here, just this one. You followed her with your eyes the whole way.
I did not, Caetano. I was just looking at the hallway.
Yes, you did. From the stairs to the door, you trailed behind her every step of the way.
Don't you have anything better to do?
I do, sir. I have more than enough, but I need to finish this first.
It is Caetano.
Yes?
Go to work.
I'm already working. In fact, one of my primary responsibilities is to keep a close eye on what the boss is doing.
I can see you're going to annoy me today.
I think so.
Juliana, can I talk to you for a moment?
Sure, Clara.
The agreement is for 3 months, 2 months left. I'm offering the equivalent of those 2 months in advance. Today, you take it, get your life in order, and leave ahead of schedule. Clean, no mess, and no hard feelings.
Why are you doing this?
Fernando is getting attached to you, and you're leaving anyway. That's what the agreement says. I'd rather it be sooner than later.
Are you afraid I'll hurt him?
Juliana, you are leaving. The question is when.
I don't want your money, Clara.
Think it over.
I already have. I'm not going. The problem with you people is that you think you can solve everything with money by paying. I'm not like that. I don't want your money. Fernando, I don't know how I am still surprised by these things. Clara offered me money to get me to leave.
When?
It was earlier this morning.
You should have taken it.
I know.
And why didn't you take it?
I don't know yet, but when I find out, you will be the first to know.
All right. Thanks for telling me.
I thought you should know.
Clara, do not approach her about this ever again.
Fernando,
I heard what you were doing. I'm going to ask one more time. Do not approach her about this again.
You are making a mistake.
If I am making a mistake, that is my problem. What does any of this have to do with you?
Hello?
Ms. Juliana, I'm Dr. Marcos from the team responsible for your mother. We need to talk about her test results from today.
What happened, doctor?
Your mother showed a significant increase in brain activity this afternoon. And it's the highest peak recorded in 2 years. She's not awake yet, but it's unlike anything we've seen before. And I thought it best for you to know in person.
Okay, I'm coming now.
What happened, Juliana?
The hospital called my mother showed positive changes. Can you take me there, please?
Okay, I will.
What if it's just an isolated peak? The doctor said it might not mean anything.
It could be, or it could not be, Juliana.
It's just that I'm afraid to hope. I've had so much that...
Well, some things last 2 whole decades without anyone taking care of them. And they stay right there.
How do you know these things?
Juliana, her activity has finally stabilized for the moment. There is no new increase for now. The peak that occurred was real, but that is no real guarantee it means anything significant. My advice to you is that you go back home, try to get some much needed rest, and then come back here tomorrow.
Fernando? Back at the hospital. Tell me, when you said those things survived for more than 20 years, were you talking about my mother?
It wasn't just about your mother.
What was it about then?
Go get some rest, Juliana. You've had a long day. You said I would eventually pay you back, but the debt is truly mine, not yours. I was sitting there on the cold sidewalk with a broken ceramic bowl when you reached down to help. You generously gave me everything you had at that moment, and I simply walked away without even knowing your name. Juliana, I really need to speak with you for a moment, and even now, I honestly don't know why I waited this long to do it.
Where did this come from?
From a chilly, rainy day 20 years ago.
In the Kambuti neighborhood?
Yes.
So were you the little boy? With that shattered clay jar?
It was me.
My God, it was you. You already knew. So that is exactly why you said I owed you so much more than I ever really knew.
No, I only discovered the truth a very short time ago. Caetano personally investigated the accident, and in the records he discovered mention of a girl and a necklace.
You've known for weeks and you didn't tell me?
Even now I don't know why.
Good night, Fernando.
You gave me this when I was 7 years old on the wet sidewalk when you had nothing else left. You took it out of your pocket and put it in my hand. And now here you are with me. And I was so angry because you took so long to tell me the truth, but before I get angry, I really need to understand what I feel besides the anger. Look, I'm sorry, Fernando. I just need a bit more time, okay?
That's all right.
I need to understand all of this. I feel like my whole life just went back 20 years in just one single conversation.
I am feeling the same way.
Fernando, did you really keep that little pig for 20 whole years?
To this day I still don't know why, but I spent all of this time with it and I could never bring myself to throw it away.
Now you finally know why.
Mr. Fernando, so? Does she know yet?
Yes, she does.
And how did she react? That is, if you don't mind telling me.
No, it's fine. I went to her room, knocked on the door, and she suddenly slammed it shut hard right in my face.
Slammed it in your face? Look, Mr. Fernando, forgive my being so blunt.
Yes.
You kept this piggy bank for 20 years. Then you spent time looking for her and found her. And it took several long weeks to tell her. And now, quite simply, it took her just one single night. One night. The next day she sees you and says she's not leaving and that now she just needs more space. You know what that means, right?
What does it mean?
That she's also carrying something. She just doesn't know the name.
You're actually quite smart, Caetano. You should charge me more.
About that, sir, it's all settled. I'm already very well paid.
There is something that has changed between them. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, and that is far more concerning to me than when I actually knew.
Can I talk to you?
Of course you can.
I went to see my mom.
I know that.
I told her about you, about the piggy bank, the necklace. I explained everything. The whole situation. I'm not mad at you. I think that if it were me, I wouldn't have told either.
I shouldn't have told her.
But I didn't come here to talk about that. 2 months left until the end of the deal. You're already the group director. I fulfilled the clause. I could just leave. It would be much easier, without any bureaucracy, any fighting. But I don't want to leave. I don't know if it's the necklace, the piggy bank, or the hotel chair. But
Juliana.
let me finish. Whenever I deeply think about walking away, something deep inside of me simply won't let me go. But from now on, no more lies, okay? Anything you have to tell me that has to do with me, whether it's easy or hard, you need to tell me.
All right.
Good night.
You're just standing there?
Oh, I am just drinking some water.
You only just drank water a minute ago.
What's the problem?
Your glass is still quite full, sir.
Done.
All right, then.
The way you handle plants reminds me of my grandmother.
You never talk about her.
She was a truly wonderful person. A bit stubborn at times, but kind-hearted. But she would plant just about anything she could find. I think she's a lot like you.
I want to know more about her.
She had a look like yours when she was planting. Focused, It seemed like she knew what she was doing.
And are you staying there?
I think I'll leave you to tend to your plants.
Thanks a lot.
Sir?
Don't say anything.
But I wasn't going to say anything. What happened?
She had a really frightening nightmare earlier today. I could hear it quite clearly from my room.
And did you go there to see how she was?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not the one who should go.
Why not?
Why not?
Look, Mr. Fernando, with all due respect, what did you want to do when you heard it? What did you want to do?
Go in.
So there's your answer. You should have gone there. You were the one who should have gone.
Good night, Caetano.
Good morning, sir. The shareholders' meeting is already scheduled for Thursday. And Miss Juliana has a call with the college dean at 10 o'clock.
I already know. Thank you, Caetano.
So then you already contacted the college?
Yesterday. I wanted to see if I could start next semester.
Can I?
I already know what you're going to say. If I need help, I'll ask.
All right.
You're learning, huh?
I am giving it my best shot.
Fernando, she said she isn't going to leave.
I'm aware of that.
Do you know what this means for the agreement? For the whole group. If she stays beyond the 3 months without a new legal structure.
Clara, what is it I have to do?
I want you to think with total clarity and not with what you are feeling right at this moment.
You know what she gave to me when I had nothing at all? I was begging for money on the street. She gave me everything. Everything she had. And today, after 20 years have passed, I find her again and you ask me for clarity? I think it is the first time that I have had clarity in my entire life. Is something wrong?
Not exactly. I can go back to school next semester. But they are now asking for detailed proof of income and financial records. And you have to be low income, and with the Ribeiro name and this house, I don't know if they'll keep my scholarship.
That makes no sense. I'll pay your tuition.
No, I don't want that.
Juliana,
It's not about money. I already owe so much in this house. It would be another debt. I don't want that. But there is actually a practical solution. They form partnerships with companies that have ongoing research projects. So, if the Ribeiro Group had a research project in the health field, I could join as a researcher and earn my own salary. So I would not be indebted to anyone for my support.
but the group has a pharmaceutical research project and we've been looking for a researcher for 6 months.
Seriously?
Of course. I'll have Caetano talk to you and get this sorted out today.
Thank you. Fernando, it's ready. Come here. You don't talk about your life, do you? Not that you have to, but I feel like you know everything about my life and I know nothing about yours. It is not that you have to speak up, but it feels somewhat unfair.
Well, when I was only 7 years old, my dear grandma passed away. We lived in a small family home in the back and we all slept on a thin foam mattress. We only ate whatever food they left at the end of the night.
And the piggy bank?
I kept it all this time, but I actually never understood why a well-dressed young lady would give me that.
You were crying.
I only had a broken bowl, which was what I used to ask for money on the street.
And how was it when you went to the Ribeiros?
They helped me a lot. They gave me food, clothes, school.
And the piggy bank?
I always kept it tucked away safely in the drawer. And every now and then I take it out and look at it just to remember that night. I never could quite fully understand it all.
Thanks for telling me.
You asked for sincerity.
I did.
Excuse me, sir. Dr. Antunes asked me to check if there is anything you need from him before the contract expires.
Is Antunes aware of the deadline?
Of course he does, sir. That's why he's asking. There's less than a month left.
Caetano, if I wanted to request an extension for the contract, not with respect to the divorce, but regarding the time.
That's entirely possible, sir. We just need an addendum to the contract, and then both parties have to sign it. Simple.
And what if it was something other than a contract addendum?
Something different, huh? Well, I think in that case, Dr. Antunes isn't the right person for you to consult at this time.
No?
No. In that case, the best person to talk to would be Miss Juliana herself.
Tell Mr. Antunes that I'll give him further instructions later on.
Yes, sir.
It's Caetano.
Yes?
Where's Juliana?
In her room, busy studying.
Did you come to ask me something?
I did, but I don't really know what I was going to say anymore.
It's okay, stay there. What are you reading?
It's a pharmacology manual.
You spent 40 minutes reading a clinical pharmacology book?
I'm on the 3rd chapter and I've actually absorbed quite a lot already.
What did you come to ask? You didn't come to spend 40 minutes reading a pharmacology manual.
Mr. Fernando, I am so sorry to tell you, but today is already the very last day of the marriage contract deadline.
I'm aware, Kitano.
Mr. Antonio is even waiting there for you to give him the instructions.
No, just ask him to wait a bit longer.
Today was the day and he didn't say a word. He didn't send Caetano. There's no paperwork, no lawyer, there's nothing. And I didn't reach out either. So that makes 2 of us.
Fernando, the deadline was yesterday.
I'm aware.
You didn't say anything.
Neither did you.
Yeah, I know. I'll be very direct. What do you want from me? What is life going to be? What do you want with me? How is life going to be from now on?
Do you want honesty?
Yes.
All right then. I don't want you to leave. I think every single day when I wake up and come here to the bright kitchen and see you, it's the very best moment of my day. When you gave me that little piggy 20 years ago, honestly, when you first received that mysterious necklace without knowing who it was from, I think that moment truly meant something significant, you know? I had never quite understood what that meaning was until now.
Are you really saying that you love me?
I'm saying I've loved you for 20 years without knowing your name, Juliana.
I just need some time, Fernando.
As much time as you need.
Did you 2 talk?
We did talk, Clara.
And so what did you decide? Look, Fernando, I wasn't happy when she arrived. You know that. It's never been a secret.
I know that.
She's not what I had planned for you.
I know that too.
But it's actually clear that you're happy.
It's true.
She will need a lawyer to review the marriage status, since the term expired without dissolution.
Of course.
Don't say a word. Let me handle this in my own way.
What's this, Caetano?
My resignation. 30 days.
Are you joking at a time like this, Caetano?
No, Mr. Fernando, it's true. 30 days. I think it's high time I take care of my own life, start a business. Indeed, a resignation.
Caetano, we've been together for 8 long years.
Mr. Fernando, don't talk like that or I'll get emotional. Look, 8 years is a complete cycle. In other words, time to move on.
And the company?
About the company? In these 30 days, you can learn. 30 days to teach me. Now, modesty aside, I don't think I need to learn anything, okay? I already know everything. And what worries me isn't the company.
So what does worry you?
I need to make sure that things here will be left in good hands. And I'm not talking about the company.
What do you mean by that?
What I'm trying to say by that, Mr. Fernando, is that inside this folder right here, which I'm not talking about the company, are 2 tickets for the theater performance tonight. Juliana had mentioned to me that she's never been to the theater, Mr. Fernando. She's never seen a play. I think it would be an opportune time to take her. And you reflect a bit, think about it fondly. And the rest is up to you.
Mr. Caetano, did you hand in your notice?
Yes, Mr. Fernando, I did indeed.
Are you leaving?
Look, Miss Juliana, it's just that some things find their way naturally, without you needing to be in the middle of them. Excuse me.
Did he do that on purpose?
He did, yes.
And you didn't know he'd do that?
I didn't suspect it.
What did he say when you said that?
Nothing. He just delivered the coffee and left, as you saw.
"2 years away. And now I have returned in a way I had never originally planned. For the research project, for the Ribeiro group, and especially for Fernando. But I'm back. How was your day?"
Fine, and yours?
It was my first day of college, so it was a really happy day.
Tell me more.
The pathology professor told me he remembered me, and that my special seat was reserved. It wasn't true, but it was nice to hear.
But that seat was waiting for you.
I'll believe it was.
Juliana, I was hoping to speak with you briefly about the deadline we agreed on. I am feeling somewhat anxious about it. Do you have an answer for me?
I'm afraid I still need a bit more time, but I promise that I will definitely give you an answer very soon.
Okay.
Over the last 10 days, Vera's improvement has been consistent and continuous. What used to be a peak is now a curve. We've never seen this before. What was no more than 30 seconds has reached 4.5 continuous minutes.
What does that mean, doctor?
It means that she is waking up. I can't tell you when. I have no way to tell you when. Days, weeks, but she is returning to us.
Will she remember me?
Well, it's a 20-year coma. There's no way to give you certainty. But long-term memory usually remains. Faces, familiar voices. The important thing is that it's working.
When she wakes up, I want to be the first person she sees, okay?
We'll work towards that. Excuse me.
Mom? The doctor said you're coming back. But before you come back to me, I really want you to understand that I truly don't know what you went through out there. It has been 20 long years, and I don't know what you heard, what you might have dreamed, or even what you felt deep down. But that during those 20 years I came every week. It's been 20 years of every week.
Mom? She's finally waking up! Someone come here quickly! It's alright, you're going to be okay. I am actually standing right here at this moment in front of you. Here, don't worry, it's okay. I am right here.
I'm here, Mom.
It has truly been so long.
20 years.
Oh my goodness, it has actually been 20 years. My dear child, just look at how much you have grown so quickly.
I have.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm doing very well.
Look, it's absolutely stunning. Did you actually keep it all this time?
I found it, Mom. Yes. Sonia, she actually took it away, love, but I got it back.
And what about that boy? Do you remember him?
I'm with him, Mom.
Wait, you mean with that boy?
That's a very long story.
Huh?
A long story.
What? What do you mean?
Just rest, okay? I'll tell you later, I promise.
I want to see him.
But Mom, you just...
20 years, Juliana. I have no more time to delay anything. Were you the boy on the sidewalk?
Yes, it was me.
I remember you. Sitting on the ground, that broken bowl. Juliana went to you before I could do anything. She was always like that. Do you still have that little piggy?
I actually kept it for 20 long years.
20 years. Why?
It was the first time in my life that someone gave me something without expecting anything in return. I had absolutely no idea at all how I would ever find her anywhere, so I kept the only small memento they gave me. I didn't know who she really was or where she could be, so I held on to the only thing they gave me as my lead.
Do you promise you'll take care of her?
I promise. I'm already taking care of her. I'll take care of her forever.
Are you having trouble getting any sleep?
My adrenaline has been really high ever since my mother came back.
I understand. So is mine as well.
Fernando, you asked me for a specific deadline, and I asked you for some more time.
I recall.
But I feel like I have a few specific things I want to share with you directly. But they really need to be expressed in my very own words and not yours. I grew up alone, and it wasn't because I wanted to, it was just how it was. And I discovered through experience that trusting other people can be extremely hazardous. But you remained right here by my side. When I told you that you could leave, you spent the night with me at the hospital. When my mother was there because you felt that it was the right place to be. And absolutely all of those things I did not ever ask for. I do not truly know what love is, and I do not even know if I really understand what that is. But what I do know for certain is that whenever you are not here with me, something feels incredibly strange. When you are here, something deep inside of me starts to calm down. I don't really know what is happening right now, but that was actually what I had to say to you today.
She's already awake.
You abandoned her. You abandoned both of us then.
The situation at the time was very difficult.
I know very well what the situation was at the time. Back when I was only 7 years old, and you put all my things in a suitcase right in front of an apartment in Braz, while my mother was at this hospital. She doesn't want to see you.
You're making this up.
Ask the doctor. He was inside the room. I have no reason to be making this up to you.
She is now legally my wedded wife.
Lawyer Antunes has already filed the visitation ban documents. Based on the clear evidence of abandonment and the numerous documented threats we have on file, I am warning you that if you even think about stepping inside that room, you will be leaving this property in the back of a police car.
Hey, Juliana, did he really file those documents?
Yes, since yesterday. When Fernando asks for something, Antunes is very fast.
Calm down, Juliana. This time I came to see your mother, not you.
Yes?
I'm Fernando's aunt. I've looked after him since he was 7 years old.
I know who you are, Juliana told me.
Then you know I didn't accept your daughter so easily.
She told me that too.
I raised Fernando for a very specific purpose. To be resilient, disciplined, and controlled, and entirely free of any vulnerability. I thought I was protecting him. When your daughter arrived, she completely undid all of that in just 3 short months. I thought she was a threat.
And now?
Now I realize that what she undid wasn't protection. It was a prison. Fernando is a different man. He's a much better man.
She has always been exactly like that, ever since she was a very little girl. Whenever she would arrive somewhere, everything around her would suddenly start to feel much more vivid and real.
Yes, you are right. That is exactly what I mean.
How is the world, Juliana?
It's very different, Mom.
Better or worse?
It's faster paced. But if someone trips on the sidewalk, someone will still be there to help. I really miss the way things used to be just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And where are we going now?
Hi, Mom. I'm home.
My daughter, what a truly beautiful and lovely house you have. Absolutely massive.
It's very big, Mom. Get used to it. Things have changed around here.
And what is that over there?
It's the little Peggy.
A tiny little piggy?
From 20 years ago?
Oh my God. He really kept it all this time. Honestly, that boy really has a crush on you, you know?
Yeah, he really does, Mom. You're still scared, right?
I'll admit I don't feel comfortable.
I have an idea.
What? No.
Trust me.
No, Juliana.
Believe me.